Hello everybody, hope you are doing great. I'm blessed to present to you an important topic in linguistics, which is morphology, the study of morphemes and word formation in languages. Morphology is a fundamental field that explores how words are structured and how their smallest units of meaning, which is called morphemes, come together to form complete words. This study is essential for understanding the structure of language and how it conveys meaning effectively. So, throughout this presentation, we will delve into the definition of morphology, the types of morphemes, and many other important things. So, let's begin. First thing we will know, what is the definition of morphology? Morphology is a branch of linguistics that examines the structure, formation, and meaning of words in a language. It investigates how smaller units of meaning, which is called morphemes as we said, come together to form words. A morpheme is the smallest grammatical unit that holds meaning. These units are the building blocks of words, and understanding them provide insight into how languages function and how words are created and modified. We can take the word unhappiness as an example. First one in it is an. An is a prefix that means not or the opposite of. It modifies the meaning of the root word. Second one is happy. Happy is the root or base word which carries the core meaning of the word. Third one is ness. Ness is a suffix that transforms the adjective happy into a noun, referring to a state or quality. By combining these morphemes, we create a word with a complex meaning, which is the state of not being happy. That was the first part. I hope it was clear. Now let's move on to the second part, which is types of morphemes. Morphemes are divided into two main categories, each with distinct role in language. The first type is free morphemes. These morphemes can function independently as complete words. They don't require attachment to any other morphemes. The features of free morphemes. They can carry meaning by themselves, and they can be found in everyday vocabulary as standalone words. Examples of free morphemes: book, run, and quick. The second type is bound morphemes. These morphemes cannot function as standalone words and must attach to free morphemes to convey meaning. The features of bound morphemes. They modify or enhance the meaning of the word they are attached to, and they are typically prefixes, suffixes, or infixes. Examples of bound morphemes: the prefix "un" in unhappy, the suffix "ed" in walked, the suffix "s" in cats. We can take a comparison to make this part more clear. Free morphemes, they can stand alone as meaningful words without needing any additional elements. Bound morphemes, they rely on free morphemes to create meaningful words and cannot exist independently. Bound morphemes can be further divided into two types. First one is inflectional morphemes. The second one is derivational morphemes. Thanks for listening, and my friend Hannah will continue what I was saying.
Hello everybody, now we are talking about morphological typology of languages. In this section, we classify languages based on how they use morphology to structure words and express meaning. Let's look at the three main categories. Number 1. Analytic languages. These languages use very few morphemes per word and they rely heavily on word order and context to convey grammatical meaning. Like in a Mandarin Chinese, the sentence "wu ayin" that means I love you doesn't use inflectional endings or prefixes to show tense or agreement. Number 2. Agglutinative languages. These languages attach multiple morphemes to a single word, like in a Turkish language. In the word evlerimizde, that means in our houses, we see multiple morphemes. Evlerimizde. Number 3. Functional languages. In these languages, a single affix often combines multiple grammatical functions, such as tense, number, and gender, like in a Spanish language. The verb hablo, that means I speak. Now, let's explore the main types of morphological processes that occur in languages, with detailing explanation and examples. Number 1. Allomorphy. This refers to the different forms a single morpheme can take, depending on its environment, like in the English language. The plural morpheme has three forms: S, Z, and ES. Number 2. Compounding. This involves combining two or more independent words to create a new word with a specific meaning, like in English language, toothbrush, like in German, handshoe. Number 3. Inflectional morphology. This adding grammatical information to a word without changing its core meaning or category, like in English language, adding ed to a word walk to indicate past tense walked, like in Arabic language, modifying the word kataba to katabat to indicate the first person singular. Number 4. Derivational morphology. This creates new words by adding prefixes or suffixes, often changing the word's grammatical category or meaning, like in English language, adding ness to a word happy to create the noun happiness, or adding un to word happy to form unhappy, changing the meaning internally. Now let's take a closer look at examples of language classifications based on their use of morphology. Number 1. Polysynthetic languages. These languages form extremely long words by combining multiple morphemes to express complex meanings, or even entire sentences. Like in Inuit languages, a single word can mean I am looking for something to eat. That's combining morphemes for subject, action, and object. Number 2. Synthetic languages. These languages use affixes to modify words, but not as extensively as polysynthetic languages. Like in Latin language, words like amavi that mean I loved, and amamos that mean we love, show how affixes indicate tense and subject. Number 3. Analytic languages. These languages rely on individual words and word order rather than the inflection or affixes, like in English language. Word order is essential for meaning, like in the sentence, the dog chased the cat, is different from the cat chased the dog. Final thought, these classifications highlights the incredible diversity of language systems and how they utilize morphology in different ways to achieve the same goals, effective communications.
Hello everyone. Now I will continue what my friend was saying. Here we see some key applications of morphology. Number 1. Speech recognition and senses. Morphology plays a critical role in technologies like Siri or Google Assistant. These systems use morphological rules to understand the structure of words, conjunctions, and how words fit together in a sentence. This ensures more accurate responses and human-like interaction. Number 2. Search engine optimization. Morphology helps search engines process synonyms, root words, and even translations. For instance, if you search for running, the search engine might also provide results for run, runs, or runner because it understands the morphological relationships between these words. 3. Language translation tools. Applications like Google Translate use morphological analysis to identify root words and grammatical structures. This ensures translations are contextually accurate and not just word for word. Number 4. Word decomposition and spelling correction. Morphology allows tools like Grammarly or spell checkers to break down complex words into their base components. They enable suggestion for better grammar, corrections, or even alternatives. Number 4. Word decomposition and spelling correction. Morphology allows tools like Grammarly or spell checkers to break down complex words into their base components. This enables suggestions for better grammar, corrections, or even alternatives. Number 5. Creation of constructed languages. Minimalist languages like Tokipona and even constructed languages like Esperanto utilize morphology to simplify communication, showing how morphological principles can create efficient linguistic systems. Here are some practical examples that illustrate how morphology works. Number 1. Pluralization in different languages. In English, plural nouns often add s. Example, cat becomes cats. In Arabic, morphology is more complex, with patterns like kitab becoming kutub, where the plural forms involves a change in the internal structure of the word broken plural. Number two, word formation and affixes. Prefixes and suffixes alter meanings and grammatical rules. For example, in English, adding the prefix on to happy forms unhappy, changing the meaning. In Turkish, the suffix lir indicates plural, as in çocuk, child, becoming çocuklar, children. Number three, understanding context through morphological analysis. Analyzing morphology helps disambiguate words based on context. For example, in the sentence, he is running late, the word running is understood as a verb due to its morphological structure. In contrast, he bought running shoes, identifies running as an adjective describing the type of shoes. Number four, compound words and derivations. Morphology helps break down compounds like notebook into note and book, or understand derivations like teacher derived from teach plus er agent suffix. In conclusion, morphology is not just a theoretical field, but a practical one with immense benefits for technology and language understanding. From voice recognition to text processing, it plays a major role in our everyday lives. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you found this presentation insightful.